In 1890s London, an Orfeomo gang ruled the streets for 80 years. This gang was later led by Diamond Annie, a towering woman who made Britain's elite her personal victims. They stole from the rich, outwitted the law at every turn, and became one of the most successful shoplifters in history. How did they stay untouchable for 8 decades? Well, keep on watching, and welcome to the discussion salon, where we uncover the stories of history's most feared and forgotten criminals. North of the Thames, the wealthy lived in leafy squares and dined beneath chandeliers. But south of the river, well, things were completely different. Elephant Castle, Lambeth and Southwark, these were the domains of factories, smogs, brothels and desperate poverty. War had hollowed the country and left gaps behind. Something new was growing, grit and survival and opportunity for those bold enough to take it. In this perfect storm of poverty and glamour and crime, a legend emerged. Her name was Alice Diamond, but on the streets of South London, she was simply known as Diamond Annie, a name glittered with menace. Born in the grim confines of Lambeth Workhouse Hospital in 1896, the daughter of a violent petty criminal, Alice came into the world with odds stacked high against her. But from a young age, she carved out her own path. Not by following the rules, but by rewriting them. Towering at nearly 6 feet tall and built like a prize fighter, she was impossible to ignore. Her fists were brutal, her mind sharp as steel. Alice was both feared and admired. Able to read people like a book and use their weaknesses to her advantage, she wore diamond rings on every finger, not for show, but as weapons, ready to leave a lasting impression on anyone foolish enough to cross her. But what truly set her apart was her uncanny ability to organise, strategize and command. She just wasn't the muscle, she was the mastermind. Under her leadership, the 40 Elephants transformed from a scrappy gang of holsters into a sleek, efficient crime network. Her reach extended far beyond London. She orchestrated raids in Liverpool, Birmingham and beyond, travelling by fast cars, plotting every move like a general preparing for war. Diamond Annie just didn't survive the harshness of her world, she conquered it. She did, draped it in silk, wrapped it in fox fur, and within the law snapping at her heels, her enemies were behind her in bruises. By the time she was 20, she had taken over leadership of the 40 Elephants, a gang of all-women thieves who had been operating out of South London since at least the 1870s. Some say the origins stretch back even further, to the Elephant Castle highwaymen of the 18th century, but it wasn't until the Victorian era that this gang took on its full female form. They were called the 40 Elephants not because of their size or numbers, even though many described as tall, strong and striking, but likely after the home turf in the Elephant Castle district. Some said the name was a twist on elegance, a nod to high fashion and society airs. Others said it was because of how heavy laden they were coming out of stores, skirts bulging with stolen wares. These women were good, experts in a method known as holsting. They were dressed like socialite ladies, dripping in pearls and tailored coats, and descend on the West End department stores like Selfridges and Waitley's. Their garments were custom made with hidden pockets, full sleeves, and even tie a bag sewn into the linings of the skirts and bloomers. In one heist alone, a woman was found with 40 stolen items hanging in a hidden pouch that stretched from her waist down to her knees. Others wore a false arm under her blouse, keeping a real hand free to swipe whatever she fancied. They distract shop assistants with feigned illnesses, like one holster who pretended to go into labour or surround the counter in a coordinated crush, handing stolen goods down the line like a relay team of thieves. Things got tough, they didn't flinch. They weren't socialite debutantes, they were street-hardened women who knew how to use a blade. Some carried razors in their corsages. Diamond Annie herself wore brass knuckles disguised as jewelled rings. She once led a full-on riot in the streets during the infamous Battle of Lambeth, where the gang, armed with broken bottles and chunks of concrete, took on a rival gang and the police. She ruled the girls like a monarch. No relationship, no marriage, no man was allowed without her approval. She even punished one disobedient bride by leading an attack on her wedding. Under Diamond Annie's reign, the gang became an empire. They modernised. They used fast cars, trains, and even fake references to infiltrate wealthy homes as maids before stripping them bare. They expanded far beyond London to places like Liverpool, Coventry, and Brighton. Wherever the stores were rich and the police were unprepared, they were feared and admired and envied. The press couldn't get enough of them. Some papers glorified them as flappers with fast cars and faster morals. Others warned of the danger of women who refused to stay in their place. But behind the diamonds and velvet were real women. Many were born into slums, into poverty, and into lives with few options. Alice Diamond herself was one of 8 children raised in the brutal environment of a Victorian workhouse. Her rise to infamy was as much about survival as it was about crime. Now for a small break. Now, if you're enjoying this journey into the criminal underworld of historic London, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel here, the Discussion Salon. It truly helps the channel grow, and especially now when YouTube hasn't been kinder to historical content creators like myself. And also, if you'd like to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon page, and I do have Buy Me Coffee links in my channel's description. And remember, every bit of support that you give, it helps to keep these stories alive. Okay, let's get back to the gang. By 1930s, Diamond Annie passed the crown to Lillian Rose Kendall, known to the police as the Bob-haired Bandit. Gang was still strong, and their techniques even bolder. One woman was found with a handbag sewn into her skirt. Others wore coats rigged with wire hangers to drape stolen coats and dresses inside their own. Even as the world changed around them through the Second World War and into the 1950s, the gang endured. They adapted. They taught their daughters, nieces, and granddaughters. This was more than a criminal gang. It was a sisterhood. It was a way of life. Defiance of the class system that kept women like these in rags, while others dined in Mayfair. Their final queen was Shirley Pitts. She learned her craft under Diamond Annie. Herself, she later said, "By going out with the 40 thieves, I saw a different way of life. They took me to Harrods, they took me to posh hotels, places I had never seen before. And isn't that the heart of it all? They just weren't thefts, they were rebellions. Acts of resistance wrapped up in velvet and silk. A bold declaration from women who refused to be invisible or be obedient or be forgotten." The 40 elephants may be long gone, but the story endures. The story is fascinating, infuriating, but undeniably compelling. From the slums of Lambeth to the glittering lights of Soho, they made their mark in a world not built for them. And they did it in style. Now, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the Discussion Salon. If this tale of criminal sisterhood has intrigued you, let me ask, do you have joined the 40 Elephant? And what crime or gang or history would you like for me to cover next? Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because these stories shouldn't be buried, should they? Should all be told. Well, until next time, keep on questioning the past, keep on hunting for the truth, and maybe check your pockets. You never know who's watching. Okay, you all have yourself a good day now. Take care. Bye-bye.